What's up, and welcome to 3 Live Stream. This is the Serpent's Lair, where we're going to be talking about all things G.I. Joe, mostly toys, though. Maybe we can get Cobra Viper to read a comic or two. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how to read, so.
But anyway, I'm Pack, and this is Cobra Viper, and we're
Love
gonna
me or hate me.
Hey, everybody loves Cobra Viper. We got Skydra Walker in the house. Moto Frank, what's happening? Oh man, we know the Prophet Director was going to be here. Simple Eddie is here. Delmus Dugan. Oh, he says he better open the 00 on this stream. Not going to happen. M3,
Nope.
what's up, Marcos? He posting up on some eggplant. Where's the emoji? I just see words.
Yeah, I don't know how to read. Where's the emoji at, man? It's in the dark.
Oh shit, we got the living shout out Instagram king, Mark Cosplay in the house, bro. What's up? Happy accident. Just saw that you hit me up on Instagram, bro. Appreciate that. You probably came from this guy, maybe.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Maybe came from a mutual friend.
Yeah. All right. So tonight's show is about what is your G.I. Joe origin story? Talking about toys going all the way back to 64. It don't matter what you collected. If you're from the older generation and you collected the 12-inch, if you collected the 3 3/4, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, it's all good here. All welcome. Let's see. Going through the shout outs, then we'll fire up. Toy Cartel is banging it out here. What's up, man? Animal Mother Customs
What
80s
up?
definitely here. David Hill. I'll send the version tonight once it looks better. Not sure what that's about, but so in all the topics
Was
tonight,
that from Animal?
What?
What you just read?
No, that's from Happy Accident.
Oh. Animal's got me something working behind the scenes.
Yeah, shout outs to Animal Mother Custom. Kind of let some people know about Animal Mother, if you would, Cobra Viper, because we're about shout outs as well.
So, Animal Mother Customs, just a humble guy, came in our streams one night. We were just like, hey, what's up? You know, what you got to show off G.I. Joe wise? And he's like, oh, you know, I don't got much. And he's like, check out what I got. And let's just say I fell back in my chair and my mind was blown at the level and the skill and the customs I saw. The guy does classifieds. He does 25th, 50th, a little bit of O-ring. Can make you a figure out of thin air. If you haven't seen his cesspool, if you haven't seen his Toxo Zombie in classified scales, you're missing out. Because I see a lot of the customizers, and there's a few of them that stand out, and Animal's one of them. Let's just say that. So if you haven't seen his work, you're missing out. Go check him out on Instagram so you can see all his photos. Animal Mother Customs 80 is his handle. So he does commission work. He does work with Trans Aaron. A lot of guys in the community are getting customs by him. So if you know, you know.
Sweet, yeah. I'm interested in talking to him sometime. So maybe sometime we can get him on the show. We got several people that kind of want to be on, so we'll figure out how to work that in.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is supposed to be a show for the people. You know, you guys want to tell your stories, have, you know, your 2 cents on a subject. I figure this would be the best place to do it.
Yeah. So we have several topics tonight, but the first one is basically your origin story and chat, and we'll start with Cobra Viper, obviously. When were you first introduced to G.I. Joe? So that would basically be your origin story.
So memory's a little foggy, but the strongest memory I have was when I first bought a G.I. Joe over all the cartoons I watched, because nothing really sticks except for the PSA segments. But when I got that first Televiper in hand, and I didn't really watch the shows at that time, it was more or less like I got the toy and I brought it home, and I was absolutely hooked, because everything else I had paled in comparison. You know, I had some Mask stuff, I had some He-Man stuff, but when I got that articulated G.I. Joe, and granted, Televiper is not the coolest out of the lineup, but it's what I had at the time, and it's what I saw and was like, boom, let's go. And ever since then, I've never been able to say no, other than kind of like when I was broke as a joke and I sold off everything I had at the time, and that was years ago, but that's another story.
Okay, so
What
you would
about
like
Tupac?
you would like to talk about Cobra Viper or Televiper then, or do you
So
want?
yeah, this was my first GI Joe and Cobra simultaneously. Absolutely stunning figure to me as a child. It's hit or miss for some people. You know, he's a telecommunications officer. He doesn't really come with a gun. He comes with like a sound recorder and a backpack, probably with some tape decks in there at the time. But for a child, when all else you got is Transformers and some He-Man and some Mask and things like that, this was firing on all cylinders, especially when you look at Star Wars toys and this was there. It was like, because I wasn't old enough to know about Remco and some of the Colico characters with Rambo figures and A-Team and Dukes of Hazzard. So I didn't know that that technology was kind of out there. But because when I saw the first Televiper, it was over with.
Mark Cosplay says, "Well, it all started when my mom and dad met." Go ahead and elaborate on whatever you guys can, chat.
Of course.
But mine's a
You
little
want to
more.
ask?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
No, mine's a little more extensive with several different figures. So continue on. Definitely continue on with your origin.
So it was kind of like I got the Televiper, and I don't really remember what else I got as far as figures go until I got the Hydra Viper. And I remember those were like two of my first kind of figures because I was buying Joes at Woolworth, so some of the Joes were outdated. I guess that's like our modern in our modern times it'd be Ollie's or maybe Dirt Cheap or whatever type of store you have that buys the discontinued or the damaged products. So in Woolworth, I was buying Joes from 86, 85, certain Joes like that. And so it was kind of like pick and miss. I didn't know what was going on until I got my first vehicle and I got that pamphlet inside of it. And my first vehicle was the Sea Ray. So, of course, that's an aquatic vehicle. Got the Hydra Viper and the Sea Ray, and those two just went hand in hand. But when I got that pamphlet, it was a whole nother world because I didn't know that most of this stuff existed at first until we moved and I had a neighbor who had all the old stuff. He had like 82 up to like 89. And I didn't know that at first. So them pamphlets is where it came into play. And, you know, you could open that thing up and see all the vehicles and the play sets. And it was just more awe inspiring. The only thing that was close was like Star Wars. Because when you open the Star Wars books, it's kind of similar. But then when you get the Star Wars figure, it's just, there's not a lot of playability. But yeah, this in the bathtub, which will lead into another one of our segments, but this figure's playability level is through the roof. If you got any bit of imagination and a bucket of water, sky's the limit.
Shout out to a bucket of water. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely want to talk about this Heat Viper because it's kind of. I wanted to see what year it was. I use YoJo for about everything. Look at that, dude. That the accessories are awesome. It has kind of a sci-fi type superhero and GI Joe vibe all mixed in one.
89 was the Heat Viper, if that's what you're looking for.
This is the Hydro Viper, right? That's the one you're
Yeah,
talking
that's
about.
the Hydra Viper right there, which I believe he's 88.
Let's see.
Yeah,
By year.
88.
I don't know what's going on with the chat at the moment. So you said 88 or 89?
88. I can go look at the chat real quick.
88. You're looking for a Heat Viper. Is that correct?
89 was the Heat Viper. 88 is the Hydra Viper from what I was just looking at.
Okay.
What up,
89.
chat? I'm reading right here. Happy Accident says he saw Wave 1 at Sears, flipped out. Dad got me a Cobra glider with a glider Viper, and I studied the box art and photos all the way home. Hell yeah.
All right, so this should be Heat Viper once it loads up. There you go.
Let me come back. Yeah,
Oh, we got
Sea
the
Ray to
one.
me is an underrated vehicle for sure, Animal. I love it because it was my absolute first vehicle for me. So when I got that sucker home and in the bathtub,
Okay. Let me
so
get
yeah.
caught up there. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, when I share screen, I can't see, but I'm going to get caught up.
All right, so that photo that you just showed, we don't got to go back to it, but I could be wrong. I always put the gun in the opposite direction because usually when you have a handle and there's a type of guard on it, it's to protect you from anything coming and hitting your hand. It wouldn't be behind your hand. You know what I mean? Like, so whoever set that up, I could be wrong, but I assume that the gun's backwards.
Later, David Hill. Sorry if I missed you going out. Appreciate you stopping by. Let's see. We got, I think you already said. Okay, so I think you already said Animal Mother Custom says it started for me with 82 rock and roll. A lot of those army fatigues, those green camos, man, they're so good. So good. Rock and roll came with I think it came with a good amount of accessories too, if I remember correctly. Sea Ray is an underrated Cobra vehicle. When Cobra Viper showed that on Instagram a while back, it brought back memories because you know how it is. Sometimes you take a break from stuff, but I had that. And that was one of the things I lost. I remember that one. Profit Director says my first Joe was short fuse straight arm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay,
You guys are the
you read
OG
that.
collectors. If you had the chance to have the first wave, the 82s, I was too young at that time. I wasn't born till 83. So hats off to you guys because I drooled over those for decades. Decades I wanted those things.
Thank you.
Yeah, short fuse is cool. Got the mortar launcher, little backpack with the artillery in it. Great figure.
Yeah, Moto Frank says 76 to 77 for me. He came with a badass scar in his face and came with a wooden crate. An obscene amount of gear and weapons. In 82, it was like Stalker and Breaker.
So 70s, he's talking about the 12-inch Joes then.
I don't know if you meant when he was. No, it's not when he was born. I'm not sure what he means by 76 to 77. Let us know what you mean on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of this
I
show.
was a guessing man. I'd guess 12-inch. So he came with a wooden crate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all is welcome. Pop the Troop. What's up, Pop?
Well, that's what I wanted to emphasize. Any origin story, don't matter what you collect. If you're into the dark ages, like my homie Tiny is, that's cool too, because that's his generation. You know, some of us diehards might look at classified and say no or foul if you want some of the dark ages, I guess. But we all have to remember, man, there's so many decades of G.I. Joe being produced that there's a different collector out there for every little bit of it.
I'm hoping we get people through all different eras because that's cool. Profit Director says, I have a great story about Christmas 1982, but it's too much to type. Well, you're at the right place. We're going to be doing these through the week. If you're available through the week, hit us up. And obviously, we can't do everybody at once. So hit us up and we'll go from there. Profit Director.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can consolidate it and type it in chat a little bit because now's your time to say it. It'll be on the live stream. Don't you post it with the comments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first Delmas Dugan. What's up, Delmas? His first Joe was Stalker on card. So I just yeah, go ahead.
I guess we could ask more specific questions of the group, you know, like the other.
Well, we're first going through the origin. I haven't even done mine yet.
Yeah, you need to do yours.
I'm just kind of going through chat because they're still going through their origin stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have to be 12-inch because they didn't start the GI Joe 3-inch recorder until 82.
82.
82. Dude, I'm telling you, the older I get, I used to be so good with my memory. Stuff is slipping, man. Toy
Well, I mean, it's
Cartel.
like a phone or a computer. You can only put so much memory into it before you got to delete and to add new.
That's all this brain is a freaking computer, man. It's going to dump shit to protect itself so it can still operate. 1982, I was 9 years old. It was perfect timing for me. Had the majority of figures from 82 to 86.
Yeah.
Golden stuff. Happy Accident says Breaker with swivel arm battle grip was my first Joe, followed by Snow Job, amazing. Rock and Roll Clutch and Torpedo. Every single one of those, when you hear the names, you just think classic. It's fucking classic.
Yeah, I walked in like halfway through 85, 86. I was 3 years old when I got my first Joe.
What's up, Ricky Rowley? Appreciate seeing you here. Make sure I read that right. I don't want to put my glasses on tonight, so I might squint.
Yeah, I'm doing a little squinting, so I hope you don't mind.
Oh man,
I don't have my
shout out
Mr.
Ralph,
Magoo
bro.
glasses.
Ralph Bednarski, if you like pop culture, hoodies, t-shirts, artwork, that's the man you need to look up for Instagram. He's got all that fire, man. His name is the same here as what it is on Instagram.
And he doesn't stay in one lane. He's got a lot of avenues.
Yeah. Tiny
I've
Plastic
seen Ring
Universe.
paintings, Hulk paintings, G.I. Joe paintings, Thundercats. Could be wrong, but I think I've seen those too.
Yeah, no, I've seen all that. He's actually got a is it I think it's Firefly. I think it's Firefly. It's a black hoodie and it's got Firefly on it. I'm like, dude, I saw that. I'm like, I need to get that. It's $45. I need to freaking grip up on that thing. It's dope as hell looking. See,
I like the
Happy
ones he
Accent.
does where he splits the faces. It'll be one side of like Beachhead and the other side of Firefly.
Well, this one was just a whole. That's why I loved it, because it wasn't a split face. It was just his whole face and his
Right.
own type drawing, because he changes them up. So my first
I mean,
Cobra
that's
was
art.
Yeah, his art is great. My first Cobra was Glider Viper, Destro, Hooded Cobra Commander, and Zartan. The Glider Viper.
He looks like a Cobra officer.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Viper pilot. That's what he's called.
Dude, I mean, like, it's just fire all throughout. Yes, definitely. Ralph, all fire, bro. Animal Mother Custom says 90% of my G.I. Joe collection is from my childhood. Dude, congratulations to you, man. Congratulations on that. That's sick.
I don't know the number, but I was lucky enough to get a few of mine.
I got Snake Eyes, bro. I'm pulling up 00 Sons. Ralph Bednarski says, my first Joe, 1982, 7 years old. Wait, hold on a second. That's the same age. That's about the same age that I was, about that year. TG and Y. Dude, I remember that store, TG and Y, for sure, bro. Stalker, Cobra Officer, straight on, $1.99 each. Shout out to the affordability. There's so many fucking topics, dude. There's so many topics with fucking this franchise, man. $1.99, bro. Can't beat it.
If we had a time machine, we'd be millionaires right now.
Delma Stugan says the cartoon music was and still is heat.
Yeah, because orchestras made it, you know? I think that was a different time when you had orchestras making intros.
What's up, Fast Eddie? Good seeing you here. And oh shit. Hey man, Dead Man 1. I know Dead Man 1 was wanting to get on some of my shows before, bro. I got so busy and with a bunch of other stuff going on in life, man. So if you're still interested, hit me up.
Right on.
Yep, Dead Man 1, appreciate you stopping. Dead Man 1's got a fire ass Instagram channel too, guys. So many people here, they do
Yeah,
what
have
they
you
love.
seen Dead Man 1's trees that he makes out of foam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many people
Ridiculous.
here do what they love and they got a platform that they share it on. So definitely Dead Man 1, check him out as well. and it's spelled just basically the same way. Let's see. Y'all keeping me busy in chat, man.
I figured it'd be like that. I said, he
Cobra
started
Viper.
asking them questions.
Cobra Viper gonna have to be on his feet with me addressing all these topics. So I'm gonna go ahead and do mine. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so I can cycle through these. Let's see, share. Let me bring this up first. It's live TV. There's no editing right now, but fuck it. Okay, where are we at? Let me start with this.
Just got classified stalker, and damn, what a nice figure. Same goes for that classified Cobra officer. Off topic, happy accident. Sold his extreme GI Joe Extreme collection and is regretting it. That sucks, man. Yeah, they're a little odd, but you know, depends on your generation. If you didn't know that different.
Yeah, we're gonna pick up from that spot. What's up, Diamonds? Glad to see you here. I'm gonna pick up from that spot, but my GI Joe origin story, and I'm gonna show some pictures. Is it was 1986, and I lived in a kind of a under the rock, way out in the country. Wasn't able to get a lot of toys. I did have a lot of toys, but they were not of GI Joe. So one day in 1986, I went to my cousin's house, and everybody went inside, and my cousin was out on his porch out front playing with toys, and I walked up in there, and I was like, I remember to this day, I'm like, he had GI Joes everywhere, strung out all over his porch. I'm like, what the fuck are those, dude? And I just started. And these are the figures I remember it to this day. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. These are the figures I saw that day, and these still are some of my favorite all-time figures. So straight up, I saw Airtight on there, dude. I love the fact of I am a fan of the sci-fi mixed in with the military aspect. So this guy was great with his hoses, his gun.
Yeah, biological warfare. Very cool.
Yeah, Lifeline off the chain with his accessories. He's got the backpack and all the things that fit inside it, dude. Sci-fi, another one of those. I'm blown away by what he's got, and there's tons of it. At this point in time, all I had was diecast like Hot Wheels and Matchbox and Masters of the Universe. So I was introduced to this stuff, and so you're gonna look at my top three figures. Viper would be like my third favorite. And he definitely had these. I didn't give a fuck that they were pink, bro. I was banging on. I'm like, them shits is cool, man. I didn't care. The more color for me, the better. That's how I like it.
Well, yeah, if you were lucky and you got the earring Zorana, or if you got the regular Zorana and you go to your friend's house and you got the one with the earrings, it's like your mind is blown. Like, how does your shit look different? And you got earrings.
I'm telling you, we noticed all them shits, man. We noticed some fine little details. I did that all the way back then, man.
If you go back to the Lifeline, that's the Kellogg's mail away where they didn't want to be associated with weapons, so they stripped all his guns off.
And dude, this guy was sick. I didn't care if he had a freaking tank top on type looking deal. Dude, he was sick. And right here says it all for me as a kid.
Well, if you zoom in on that, this is a double stamp. There's two Cobra logos painted on his chest. It's an error.
I'm not sure if I can zoom in on that. I already got pretty zoomed on it already, but
that's all good.
Yeah, that. And my favorite all-time figure is Serpentor. O-ring, a real American hero. This guy was it for me. I did like things that was about snakes when I was a kid. So Snake Men. And then when G.I. Joe did this, I was like, man, the cape, the shimmer to it, the color pattern, the fact that his head was engulfed in a snake's mouth, the daggers, and then he had this fire ass weapon. I mean, this chariot. I don't remember if my cousin had the chariot or not. I just remember that damn thing, man.
If you look at the chariot, notice that it's not split on the bottom. I got a video on my YouTube on how to modify your chariot so your pieces don't separate, because they do that over time, so you can get it back to looking like it did the day you got it. like the one there in the photo. And
Is
that's
that
a
on your
reproduction cape.
is that
That's
on your
not the original cape.
I'm sorry, is that on your Instagram or your YouTube?
No, that's on my YouTube and on my Instagram, but it might be harder to find it on Instagram. But it is on my YouTube. And it's got like 500 views. It's got 2 parts to it.
All the links are in the description of this video too. I will get caught up in chat once I get done with these, and I'm almost.
Let me go look at chat. I'll go check out the chat.
Okay. Yeah, and this guy kind of blew my mind because he had an action feature. Dude, playability was off the chain for me. This dude changed colors, man. And for some reason when I was a kid, I also liked people that had like masks over their eyes, like Green Lantern when he had like his covering over his mask. And I liked the fact that that Zartan had a disguise type around his eyes. It was just sick. And this is my second all-time favorite figure. My mind was blown away when I saw this trooper. And my cousin had like 4 of these things too, bro. Sick. And I think that's going to be it for the photos. Yeah, that's it for the photos.
My first, Mark says his first Joe was Snake Eyes. Me and my older brother used to collect bottles and recycle cans at 5 cents to buy more Joes. They were $2.99. DFS is in the house. Diamonds. M3 says his first Joe was Airtight. Ralph helped him figure out the name he was forgetting. Happy Accident loves sci-fi. Diamond says my brother looked 2 years for the OG flamethrower. Happy saying he wanted Zorana. Had to find one at a flea market. Yeah, that was the breaks if you didn't get it in store. Back in the day, there was no getting it off your buddy. They held on to that like a lady clutching her pearls.
Dude, but everybody
Copperhead, yeah.
Everybody remembers freaking what started him off. I gotta find out where he left off.
We don't talk about Serpenter when I'm in the chat. That's what the Happy Accident said. I'm a Cobra Commander guy myself, so I feel you on that one.
So I wasn't much for the character in the movie, but the toy, I didn't give a fuck. The toy was fucking cool.
So Profit Director just commented if you want to get back on comments.
Christmas 1982?
Yep.
Okay. Christmas 1982. My mother bought me all of those Star Wars diecast minis, the Hoss sets and the Bestman sets. She bought my uncle, only 2.5 years older than me, the Vamp, the Mobat, and the Hall. And see that Flak and the MMS. Then my aunt bought us both exact same shit, so we traded, and both of us came out with full sets of Star Wars and G.I. Joe. Best Christmas ever.
Can't do better than that, man.
It's right there. That's pulled right from the freaking heart right there, bro.
Well, Animal and I talked about that. Like when you were a kid, if you got double vehicles, sometimes you'd take it back and get better. But sometimes you'd be like, nah, I got 2 Mambas. I'm going to open them.
Yeah.
Can't even hold one by yourself.
So we don't pull off into Christmas stuff because we're going to keep things on topics. And I'm sure Christmas in remembrance of all that will be a show that we'll do later on. So now that we're done with all our origins, we're going to go ahead and move on. And some people have already answered this. The next one is, what was the first G.I. Joe figure you acquired? And what means did you acquire it? Cobra Commander or Cobra Viper? Remember when we were talking about this and you said, did you buy it? What was all those things you said?
Did you buy it? Did you trade for it? Did you steal it? Did you find it? Was it gifted to you? Those type of scenarios.
Right.
And it's cool if you stole it. Let us know. You know, I knew people that would go. I think Kid with a Kung Fu Grip said him and his brother used to go and steal Joes all the time.
Shout out to Kid with Kung Fu Grip. So yeah, what was your first G.I. Joe figure you acquired, and what means did you acquire it? Didn't M3 say what his first one was? I think I was busy.
He said it was Airtight.
Really?
But he didn't say how he got it or where he got it.
Yeah. Specify how you got it. So while we're waiting for that.
I mean, I already went through mine real quick. Televiper in Woolworth. That's where I got mine. Bought it. My mom bought it for me.
Which one was it? You said Televiper from
Televiper,
Woolworth?
Yep. That was literally my first G.I. Joe I ever owned and my first Cobra at the same time.
Ralph says, me living in the Tampa Bay area, always thought it was cool. Blowtorch was from Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's a whole nother subject, but that's a great part of it is you can relate to certain individuals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is topics and content for days. File cards. I can go on and on. We'll wait on all that stuff. So, I mean, let's see what we got here.
Well, the main thing is if you guys want to talk and be involved, this, I mean, is probably the best way to do it right now.
Yeah. So, like the prophet director said, that Christmas was a part of his origin story. Yeah,
Yeah, it literally
definitely.
was his origin story. He never owned them before that.
Yeah. I just didn't want to go off on tangent about everybody talking about their Christmas time. You know what I mean?
Save it for another day.
Oh yeah, save it. Prophet director's always got good conversations, bro, and he's always got Baroness right inside, so you can't fucking go wrong with that. Okay. Dead Man 1 says, Zartan was my first. My brother had tons before my parents realized they had two boys that both liked Joes.
You're over here getting He-Man or whatever else while the Joes are going to him. Boy, I'd be so jealous.
I also had a teacher in 3rd grade that gave all of us boys G.I. Joe figures when we aced our tests. What? Bro. Who is... If she was
What's
hot...
her name? We got to do a shout out to her, bro.
Stalker from Ames. I have heard of that store. Delmas, where's Ames located from, if you don't mind?
We had Ames. It was kind of like a Kmart.
Yeah, Almost Custom says, Mom bought rock and roll. M3 says, Marcos. Airtight, my buddy introduced me to G.I. Joe, 1st grade. In the dirt, he let me take him home. Fuck. Hey, he said the dirt, the battlefield.
Yes. I had a kid bury Naugahyde one time, and I went behind him and I dug it up and took that bitch home.
Professor says, no, I got my first Joe at a drugstore. All they had was Flash and Short Fuse, and Short Fuse looked like me, so that's what I bought. I thought you said your Christmas one was your origin, so I'm confused. But Short Fuse, man, they're all good. I just can't think of anything that really, like, I wasn't a big Major Blood toy fan. That was one that I kind of think of, but I digress. He said
I
her
think
name
the
was
only
Mrs.
one that I disliked off the get-go was the Battle Armor Cobra Commander.
Which we both know that's my favorite Cobra Commander.
I just couldn't get on board with it since the day it was announced.
Her name was Mrs. Williams.
Good for you, Mrs. Williams.
Okay, so
talking about an incentive program.
Well, my first figure was the Bat, and it's the only figure I had grown because they were never bought for me. And like I said, my cousin had he had four. It was four. I'm pretty sure it was four. And he's like, bro, you can have one. And he was fucking cool. He gave it to me because, dude, I'm telling you, we both coveted our toys. We didn't let people fuck with them, man. But I love vehicles, but I couldn't take my eyes. He had all of it there, bro, but I just couldn't take my eyes from the figures at that point in time. So the Bat is the balls, man. Love the yellow and the black with all the accessories and the freaking. I've been a troop builder since day one. I could never get them, but I've always liked building troops, man. Let's see. He said Ames turn to hills or the other way around. What's up, DFS? Grandma and Mom would hunt all my toys while we were at school if we didn't ditch. Shout out to Grandma and Mom.
Yeah, because when they're in the grocery store chilling, they're over there picking you up stuff from Winn-Dixie and wherever. I remember I'd find Joe's and Winn-Dixie in public sometimes. Be stoked.
I used to go to Winn-Dixie all the time, bro.
There'd only be one. You know what I mean? Like, be surrounded by junk. There'd be one Joe on the shelf, kind of like when you go into Walgreens nowadays.
Christmas was my first vehicles. Cool, cool. See, Mark cosplay.
Well, I mean, is that going to segue into our next?
Just a second. So my dad promised if I got straight A's, I'd get a Sergeant Slaughter with tank. Dude, the triple shout to the triple T. Short story, I got straight A's. My parents never found him on the pegs, but I saw Serpentor and got him instead. Hey, you're in the Serpent's Lair right now where we turn the fangs downward, bro. Downward. Hell yeah. Love it, man. Like I said, my Serpentor, every show I do, he sits right back there with me, bro. Where is he? Right fucking here, man. He always rides side.
I pulled mine out and put him a little higher on the shelf because he was in the rest of the masses.
Let's see. Deadman One says, I'm with Viper on the battle armor. See, like you guys, I never use the word Coco. I know everybody says Coco, but I'm like, man, you know what? Cobra Commander is supposed to be badass. He's not supposed to sound like some brat, name of a Bratz figure. Coco.
I mean, he's smooth and buttery. When it's time to dip, he knows when to run, boy.
There's another way of looking at it.
Retreat! He's out.
Man, I want
it. He leaves everybody behind, too. Every man for himself.
Yeah. Happy accident. Man, I want a Major Blood so much but could never find him. Or Snake Eyes. Storm Shadow, Firefly. My Cobra collection was weak, not for lack of trying. Y'all are getting all kinds of ideas here, and I'm actually going to write these down because we started writing down ideas for other shows, and I definitely need to get some of y'all's ideas. So, the figures that eluded you, we're going to do that on another show.
That's a sob story in itself for me. Woo! Yeah. I never could get the 85 Snake Eyes and them older figs.
We're gonna handle down another one, man.
The 90s stuff.
Just little tidbits for y'all. Stuff like what tips your nostalgia button. You know, all kinds of different things that we've already got figured out, man. So
yeah, because the nostalgia button covers a big range.
Yeah, as you can see,
we're talking about smelling crayons, taking us back to 3rd grade.
Yeah. Okay, so the next topic, I'm behind on chat, Cobra Viper. You're gonna be.
I'll check it out.
You're gonna be busy on this next topic because I ain't get caught up. Okay, what memories do you have of your first GI Joe vehicle? And shout out to the Prophet Director because he saw into the future and already answered the question. So, what memories do you have of your first GI Joe vehicle?
Later, happy accident.
Accident might have left. Hold on a second. Happy accident. Okay, yes. Bro, thanks for stopping. Says I gotta get back to work. Good show. Catch y'all later. Appreciate you, man.
DFS said he used to ditch school to go to his grandparents' house, and now he still lives in his grandparents' house playing with toys.
Shout out to DFS, one of the best mottos ever. Living best life, man.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so go ahead. You take it off because I'm really behind. Oh, I got to shout out Big M. What's up, Big M?
What was the topic we just discussed? The vehicles?
So the next topic is, what memories do you have of your first G.I. Joe vehicle? Just your first one. So this is all you, because I don't.
So for my first one, it was the C-Ray. It was aquatic. Just bath time. Every time I got in the tub, that sucker was getting played with. So it was just a daily reoccurrence. And then you could add extra figures on it. They could pin underneath and have the glider. It would disconnect. I didn't like disconnecting it that much because to me it looks cool like that as it is. But that thing was just, I don't know. I thought it could fly too. So I'd be in there flying it through the air and dive bombing into the water and shooting the Joes. I think at the time, all I had was the Hydra Viper. So I had to play with some other Joes. Not really like they were diving, because I don't think I got a real good diver till the 94 Shipwreck came out that I was happy with. No, the wetsuits. That's who I had. I had the yellow and black wetsuit, and this thing would just lay to waste to his little butt, because I was always a Cobra guy. So every time I had my battles, GI Joes were on the run. They were getting bombarded, getting beat down. Because when you watch the cartoon, it's the total opposite. This cool vehicle flies in, gets blown up in 2 seconds with a laser pistol off Lady J. Like, what the hell? At least like make it a little more dramatic. Again, it's a children's show, but in my universe, this thing in the bathtub could not be beat. Even if my battle wagon and some of the other vehicles I had and the Mortal Kombat vehicles that I got and Street Fighter vehicles, because that was a little bit more of my time frame, those just weren't the same as this, because it still looked military, kind of bluish green, goes underwater, just, I don't know. It's one of those
Looks like
core
something
memories.
looks like something from that show, 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea or some shit.
Yeah, almost like, what is it, the Nautilus?
Yeah,
Captain Nemo and the Nautilus.
Yeah, big vibes from that for me. And shout out, because you already know what happened to my old collection, but this was actually one of the last figures I had bought that I put in there in this that I gotten. So when you posted on Instagram, I was like, man, that was like one of the last vehicles I got.
Yeah, and like it's kind of getting weird, but it's also like, is this Cobra Law?
It has a Cobra Law feel too, bro.
In my world, this was part of the Cobra Law squad, bro. He looked like Nemesis Enforcer. So I actually got the Cobra Law dude. I got all three of them when I was a kid, and so to me, watching the movie, I wanted more Cobra Law stuff, and that was the only thing that kind of looked like it.
So we got a couple people weighing in, and we know that. Let's see,
look at the chat.
bathtub time says Marcos and the shark for him. I know how much he likes that shark. Big M says just got in for break. Spent 14 hours changing filters in a dust silo. You know what? Hopefully you can jump in here, have a drink, relax, kick back, wherever it is, and you can fucking forget about those 14 hours, bro. But
see, Profit Director, I had the second Cobra Eel, and I thought that was the greatest. Came with its own shark. Looked like a freaking frog man.
Animal Mother Custom. First G.I. Joe vehicle was the APC. A truck and a carrying case in one. Shout out to fucking 1980s vehicles that were carrying cases, dude. I'm with you 100% on that deal. Hell yeah.
EFS thinks the Sea Ray's sick. I think Animal said he liked it too. I mean, you guys can say yay or nay. Is it cap or fact? Is it a good vehicle?
Swamp Ski, I gotta go for dinner. Oh, dude, appreciate you, Dead Man One. Was it? Thanks.
Yeah, I think he said he'll hop back after dinner.
Okay. Delma says my first vehicle was a Christmas '86. Got the armadillo and the
Biovac. Biovac's a playset.
That was, dude. Man, 85 was. That's another topic. Best here. Y'all making some great topics.
I still think 85 is Lenny's favorite year because that's the majority of all the classified we've got.
Best year for Jones.
Putting it out there. I've been saying that. But that's also been a consensus of our group that we have.
85?
Been looking. Yeah, 85 seems to be the magic number.
You'll have to wait till we do the show to get my number. So, fuck it. So,
I don't know. They kind of went off the guardrail now. They did Big Ben from the 90s. We might get some of this. Just you wait. Everybody talking trash on this misproportioned weird O-rings. You never know.
Let me see.
I think this redone in classified with the right tooling and scaling would be a great figure. The gauntlets on the arms and the scarf and the helmet and the eye patch. You know, these aren't too bad. It's just, it's not, I guess, molded well.
I'll take
the way
it all
the
day long.
Torsos, you know?
I think it's great. I actually like it. It don't bother me that much. I know what you're saying about the aesthetics, but it don't bother me. I like it.
So that's why I bought this one. It was one of the ones that least bothered me. and I really liked it, especially when you put like a black wash on the scarf and stuff, make them look a little beat up and dirty. I could probably flip my camera around; it'd be better. But yeah, they had some heaters in there.
I like
I'll
that
even give
blood
them
better than I
credit.
do the version 1. I'm probably in the minority, so I understand that.
Maybe, who knows? But yeah, when you look at these in detail, there's a lot of sculpting that went on into this. A lot of detail, the little pouches, the armor plating, the ammo bags, the grenades, the braids on the freaking scarf. I mean, they were doing pretty good.
I like his helmet better on that one. I think his helmet looks good. Big M says my
It
favorite water vehicle was the Hammerhead.
Oh, that's a crazy one. So that definitely kind of feels Cobra Law-ish too. When you look at the hammerhead and how weird and funky it was. If they would have made the hammerhead, or actually if they would have made the Sea Ray and the colors like the hammerhead, I think it would have looked so much cooler. The dark gray and the light gray with the lime green missiles. All you customizers out there, maybe an idea.
The first Cobra Eel was the greatest. Dragonfly and 2 fangs. Let's see. What's up, Curtis Schultz? What's up, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, the dragonfly is amazing on its own.
I have that. Let's see, we got a Warlord Cypher Goon. Appreciate you stopping by, man. I just got this figure today, Minty. Which figure would that be? Was he talking about the one you were just showing?
Yeah, possibly.
Dude, that'd be crazy. It's not a. What year is that Major Blood? Was he released?
It says 2003.
So if that is what he's talking about, hell of a coincidence, you know. Good deal, man.
I mean, these are still O-rings. When you say O-rings,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
That I think a lot of people sleep and don't realize that those 2000s were O-rings, man. They didn't change the O-ring until 25th. That's when they changed.
Right. No, they changed with Extreme. I don't think they had O-rings.
What year was Extreme? Do you know off the top of your head? If not, we'll move on.
2004? No. I think maybe like 96, 97.
I remember that stuff. It was right in the middle of O-ring, and okay, I know which ones those are now. Those were fucking weird. Those seem like some of them seem monsterish too, I think, if I remember correctly.
Well, the Sergeant Savage didn't have O-rings. I think they were kind of like the figs are now, where it has the hip balls, the ball peg for the hips are kind of just stuck in the body when it's pressed together with the front and the back of the seam. Because if you break a Sergeant Savage figure, you're shit out of luck, man. And they were like 5-inch.
I had all the figures and vehicles with the exception of the Terror Dome and the Night Raven. Dude, man. What year are you talking? When you say I had all the figures and vehicles, up to what year, bro? Because it sounds like, dude, he had all them shits, man. I'd be interested in up to what year.
I'd assume like ending like 88, 89, not going into the 90s.
Did I see Raw? Is Raw Talk in here? Because I keep seeing people say his name, but I haven't seen a comment from him. Did you see Raw Talk?
No, let me see.
That's right. It's his live TV in our fucking living rooms.
I see Roundhead showed up.
Where the fuck? Maybe it's at the bottom. What's up, Roundhead? Roundhead.
Ralph, I do agree with you on the October guard, but
I'm not caught up, so.
Oh, the Warthog. Yeah, good choice, Prophet Director.
Let's see. Ralph says, when I was in the hospital, my mom brought me Tiger Force and Python Patrol figures. I asked my mom if I did something wrong to get these. Shit.
I think Warlord Cypher Goon is Raw Talk.
Oh, is it? Well, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What's up, Raw Talk?
I believe so.
Okay. I'm still behind, so. Yeah, I'm pretty behind, so I'm going to let you I'm going to keep going through chat, so if somebody answers our previous question while I'm going through, I'll flash it up for you. But our next topic is going to be, what's your fondest G.I. Joe memory that you have? Do you need some time on that one? Let me see.
No. So
Co-
for
Cobra
me,
Bug. Cobra Bug. Cobra Bug is fucking weird too, man.
the fondest memory is when I got a shell of a night raven.
A
Because
shell of a Night Raven?
growing up in Key West, Florida, there was only a Woolworth and an Ames, and then later on the Ames became the Kmart. So everybody and their brother had to shop at those two stores, and every kid that lived there was shopping at those stores. So the people that I went to school with were the enemy because they were buying the Joes that I wanted too. But when I got my hands on that Night Raven shell, it wasn't easy to get old vehicles like that later on. And so once I got that, I played with that more than anything else because it was such a dream to have that I was so appreciative just to have the shell to play with that. Couldn't put nobody in it or nothing like that. And it had the landing gear, but it didn't have nothing else. All the bombs are missing, all the fins are missing, canopy, spare jet. But it drove the G.I. Joe love harder than anything else out there in the game. So when I think of that vehicle, when it was time, I had some money come into me. I went and I bought a box Night Raven in like 2010 because I was like, bucket list. I wanted this thing my whole life. I got 70 grand to burn. I'm gonna go buy a Night Raven. I don't care what it costs. Box, let's do it. I got one for 250. So that little burned out shell that I dug in the dirt, flew through the sky, took it to the beach, took it with me everywhere. That thing propelled me into where I am now and solidified the G.I. Joe memory like forever because I cherished that thing. I bet you I slept in bed with that damn thing.
I got you on pin 15 private chat. Let's see, I'm gonna get caught up on this. So shout out to a couple people that came in because we got Zadkiel Easyoy and Cecil MMA, man. What's up, guys? Caesar MMA, my bad, bro. You know it. I knew I said that wrong when it came out, man. You're always making comments, bro. Appreciate that. Let's see, Ralph, M3, Cypher Goon.
Roundy.
There, finally, I'm down here, bro. Roundhead.
Diamond
So,
sleeping on O-ring. I'm a heavy O-ring collector.
ain't nobody sleeping on O-rings on this panel. Ain't nobody sleeping on any G.I. Joes on this panel, bro. So,
Yeah, I even bought some of these.
yeah.
I think
Diamonds.
I have this one. I got the Interrogator, and I have the Cobra Commanders, the blue one and the red one. Looks like Cobra Commander ate his Wheaties for the morning. He's up in my helicopter. I got the blue one somewhere, but having a toddler, man, I don't know where half of my stuff is anymore.
Yeah. Check private chat. I sent you a message. From 82 to 90, I had everything but the Terror Dome and flag. So 82 to 90. Holy shit, dude. Like that's some impressive shit right there. Congratulations.
Where'd you send it to?
It's in private chat to you.
Oh no, I'm good, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I got real lucked out, and I made a combo of the cable that I have plus an Apple charger brick because for some reason both my new bricks stopped computing and started showing the caution arrow when I would plug in my cords. But I started thinking, I'm like, all my cords can't be bad. So I started getting different bricks, and finally I found this brick and it started charging it quick. And right now the battery looks almost full with just a little sliver at the top, and it's showing the charge sign. So I think I can make it another hour easy. It hasn't even diminished. Telling me 85%.
Oh man, you're going strong. So Curtis Schultz
Yeah.
says I got the Night Raven Christmas of 86, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
We'll call him Raw Talk. Raw Talk. Oh, Raw Talk is switched. He's Raw Talk again. But he said I was talking about the Sea Slug.
The Sea Slug is Cobra Law vibes too, man. everything they were doing then, I don't know why it didn't come down the pipeline as Cobra Law, because that makes more sense with the crazy colors, the crazy designs.
Mark Cosplay says my little brother lost my snake eyes, so my older brother gave me one of his Cobra Vipers. Cool. He had told me that Snake Eyes disguised himself as a viper once, so after that, my viper was Snake Eyes. Dude, shout out to Sardo Numspa 82. Every time I say this phrase, I think of him, so I shout him out. That's what we call head canon. Head canon, what it's all about, man. O-rings for life. We hear you, man. Marco says classified kills, O-rings.
Yeah, you want to see some high-end O-ring?
Ralph says our favorite Cobra figures, Destro always, Monkey Wrench and Bats.
This ain't no Black Major.
Hold on, I got you. I got you up. Okay, so I remember when they came out with Black Ninjas, Red Ninjas in the 2000s. What's the date that came out?
This is 84.
That one did?
Or 86. I'd have to look. Because all it is a repainted Storm Shadow, but it's from Hasbro, and it's called the Ninja Viper.
It didn't come out. It didn't come out then, though, right? It may have the date on there.
No, because the date, I'm gonna go by what's in the book.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got the book kicking right now.
Excuse me, I'm a little under the influence too. So
Curtis says I want to get rid of my O-rings, but it's so hard. It's so hard for a reason, Curtis.
Man, what are we looking for? Ninja Viper.
I got a flag for O-ring. Let's see. Just so you know, if anybody is messaging me during the show, I usually don't check my phone on the show. So if you have something for me and I miss it, sorry about that. I usually try not to fuck with my phone on these.
I'm not seeing the Ninja Viper here just yet until later on. I might have just skimmed past it.
I don't remember them doing those variations on them ninjas till later. Because it was fire. These, like the 2000s, they came out with Black Ninjas and Red Ninjas.
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it yet. We're going deep. This is getting into 91. But I know I've seen it in here. There it is. So, Cobra Ninja Viper number 330 came out in 91.
Okay. Love those books. I had that book too in the storage, man. Is it the red cover though? Is it red cover?
It's both.
Oh,
this is both. This is junk. This is just a quick reference because if I'm foggy on eBay, if I need to check something, this is easier than anything. But
Raw Talk says also got a Minty Sergeant Slaughter USA mail-in. I got one, but his legs are shot to shit. Knees are all floppy. I need to get some joint tightener for him.
That Kiki stuff everybody's raving about.
Sardo was the first person that told me about Kiki's like a year and a half ago, man.
Yeah, Sardo knew then because it's trending now, Sardo.
Sardo
Shout out to you for knowing, boy.
Sardo was a motherfucking trailblazer.
Seriously, because I use super glue and clear nail polish on some stuff. It works pretty good.
Hey, Pack, you got to call her. It's Bullwinkle. I think he needs more ice in his wine. You fucker. Bullwinkle. Get a man's drink, bro. But shout out to Bullwinkle, man. We love him. What's up?
Hey, listen. Did you know?
I'll be right back.
You seen those videos?
What videos?
The guy looks just like Bullwinkle. All right, let me go in the chat, see what's happening here. Yeah, it's 91. That's what I was just looking at, Animal. My bad. I was kind of floating through. Big Stan's just getting off the highway. Drive safe.
Big Stan pop in?
It was a mail-in, Curtis. It was a mail-in.
Gyro Viper was my Viper.
Looks taupe. I pull out the heat. I got that from Animal. I wouldn't have that if it wasn't for Animal. he was liquidating a friend's collection, and you know he broke bread with me, and because I said, "Yo, can I get that?" And when he came back and said, "Yeah, you can get that," I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh, are you for real? Thank you." So I always show it out because this is one I've always wanted. I think it's sick. I love it.
What's up, Big Stan? Sorry, I was away from the control
Yeah, he said he's
panel
getting
here.
off the interstate.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Big Stan, bro. Come on, everybody on here, I better know Big Stan. The big homie, the first ever Texarkana champion for the Southwest Pro Wrestling. Get you some. Gonna be wrestling in
Yo,
January for the strap again.
this is my eel for everybody that was saying the eel, the eel.
I got you.
Thing was
That thing is so crazy.
couldn't get the
dude.
original eel. I had to settle for this. Nobody would trade me.
It looks like a Wolverine G.I. Joe.
I mean, it's cool. It's got fins on the legs. Like I've seen some people do the lucha libre, I think it is, the wrestlers, and they use these legs to make, which is so funny to me.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it comes with a shark. Thought it was sick, absolutely dope. But you know, the OGs out there, they don't care for that as much.
I'm open to every era of stuff. If I like it, I like it. If I like it, I
And
want it.
then you can get crazy and get the overseas edition.
90s. Got to be 90s.
Yeah. So this is the Fun School, the Russian Fun School, which is on the same level as Hasbro as far as quality goes, but they come in different colors. This is Hasbro. This is Russian Fun School. So had to get it just because this is like near and dear to my heart as a child, because this thing with the shark as a backpack that shoots missiles, I don't know, just had to have it.
Playability. It'll be a theme.
Yeah, bathtub, man. Fondest memories is in that bathtub. I even put the Night Raven in the bathtub like it wrecked, and the Cobras had to get out of it. Brandon! Oh, we could go down the rabbit hole.
DFS says, Bull don't drink water, White Claw, and by reaction at the same time. Yeah, this are nice.
So this is the Eco Wars I was telling you about, saying these are some 90s figures that are really good. This is basically the Toxo Viper version 2 I was telling you, but they added the leg and the arm, and the face is open. Animal made this as classified scale. If you go on his Instagram, it is almost as cool, if not cooler than this, because it's detailed and painted and all that. This is mass produced, but yeah, we got the watermelon bubble gum here.
That's right.
So DFS, they got Fun School India and they got Fun School Russia. The Fun School Indias look like bootlegs. The Fun School Russians look just like Hasbro's, but in different colors.
Some of that Fun School stuff is fire, man.
Yeah, it's fire because it's cool and it's unique, but some of it, when you get it in hand, the quality is not very good.
Diamond says, yeah, buddy, I remember shooting shampoo bottles with the Shark backpack rocket launchers.
Yeah.
Diamonds is with you on that figure, bro.
Bro, the best of times. I think I might even shot my mom's douche bottle and not even known it.
Aha!
I was lining up anything that I had, bro.
Woo! Shout out to douche bottles.
Gotta keep it clean, baby.
Yeah. Man, I didn't get another beer, but we're about ready to fire off. Man.
What else? Do we have any other fondest memories? Yeah, it's a good fond memory.
Yeah. I need to go on and see some of his work, man.
Big M said he had the eel. Uncle Delman fucking dead.
Margo says, I've never seen a douche bottle.
Raw talk. In the book, it showed black swords, but I've seen it with silver swords in the pamphlets. So I don't know if the book just had the wrong swords or if the lighting was off and it appears not to be silver.
We're gonna ask Big Stan if you have any. So the show basically was about your G.I. Joe origin story. If you have time, because I know you didn't show up till later, what is your G.I. Joe origin story? Let's see. I think that's gonna be it for everybody's fondest memory. But
Yeah.
I need a freaking intermission, so I should have got another beer while I was up. Because this next topic's gonna be, dude, we're gonna light this bitch up with this next topic. So wait for it. Shout that shirt you got going on too, bro. Nice shirt.
So Destro's Dungeon made this for me. It says
Here, let me
Cobra
get you.
Viper, 83rd Division. It says it on the back. It's pretty cool. I don't know how well I can turn around, not look like a fool. I don't know. I'm probably gonna look like a fool. Can you see it?
Not really. A little bit. Not really. I see it's got.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's got a Cobra logo. It's got some writing. Raw Talk makes me some of the shirts I wear too. I got the Viper as the jump man. I got the one that says like Viper and it's got him like mid stance and shooting. That one's my absolute favorite. Just blown away by that one. It's like blue, feels almost like dry fit, more polyester, where this one's like straight up cotton and not really breathable. But the Toy Fiend cult, some of his shirts, M3 buys them. He knows.
I need to get the fuck you He-Man from him.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Till we meet again, He-Man.
Who needs douche bottles when we have so many bags? There's quite a bit of douche bags out there. Oh, all right. So I'm gonna
comment of the night.
I'm gonna drop this not this next topic. This will be our last topic for the night here. So
yeah, that's cool.
Wait, maybe last topic. We'll have to see. Because we're in the side chick right now, Cobra Viper.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're doing
I
side
said we
chick
could have
right
kept
now.
it longer. I said it, but
what'd you say?
I was saying I think we could have done probably 5.
Yeah. Where was your go-to spot to play with G.I. Joes? So you go ahead and take. I'll be right back.
Man, it was a toss between the bath or the ocean. I mean, I lived in Key West, so the ocean's around every corner. But the ocean was tough on Joes, let me tell you. Most of my Joes were unsavable from my childhood because of the ocean play.
Oh,
but
okay.
For me, the ocean was the best, the absolute best. And the bathtub was second, only because it was a controlled environment. You don't really lose the guns and whatever unless you pull the drain early. You know, you always told your mom, "Don't open the drain. Got to get all my stuff." But yeah, definitely the ocean. Yeah, outside, anywhere.
I'm gonna lay this too. What was your go-to spot to play with G.I. Joes, and did you have a favorite prop? A favorite fucking prop?
You mean like a building?
Anything.
Set?
So whatever you made, you know what I'm saying? Because we made shit like yeah, so you could have had a bookshelf and thought it was something else, or you could have been outside and had a bush or something, or you dug a hole, or you found cups and thought they were something else. Just So my favorite place, let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss chat. The dirt and garden hose. So what'd you do with the garden hose, bro?
Probably drank from it, knowing M3.
I did. I drink outside water like a motherfucker. I don't give a fuck.
I'm thirsty. Go outside, get the hose.
It had a whole different taste to it. It almost had like a, I can't even describe the taste, but DFS says sandbox. Diamond
Mm.
says everywhere.
I feel like I played with the Hot Wheels in the sandbox more.
Really? They didn't roll with
Yeah.
the fuck out there, bro.
Well, we had like a big border around our sandbox, and that was our highway. Like you could drive the cars around the highway, and you'd go off the cliff into the sand, and it was the desert because some people had the monster trucks at the time because they were coming out and getting popular. Yeah, so
Mark Cosplay says I was obsessed making quicksand and drowning the Joes.
that's you know what that triggers a memory. I forget about that. Yeah, fill in the water to where the dirt is floating, kinda, and you could put them in there and lose them. You got to save them.
Okay,
What you
so
want?
there's our prop. There's our
The
prop.
baby's up.
He built dams. Gotcha. Raw talk. Raw talk got the blankets for mountains.
Yeah, that's what I had to do for snow. When I got blizzard, I had to do that with the blankets, man, for my snow.
Raw says, go to spot my yard. I dig foxholes for Joe's and my carport on the side of the house because that's where I kept the flag.
Oh my god.
Outside.
Hey, where else would you think your parents? I don't think my mom would let me have the flag in my apartment that we lived in. No way.
Made a pond with a garden hose.
Yeah, I made a huge trench and used wood, and that was one of my fondest things that I made was my fort in my yard till we moved. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have that side story, but having to move and collecting the Joes and having to take my fort down that I made, getting little pieces of plywood and making walls almost like a mine. Dude, I had an extensive spot in my yard at one point, but we moved, man. We moved a lot. You know, it's tough when you're broke, bouncing around.
Hey, join the broke crowd.
Yeah.
I hear you, man. I
So,
used
dude, it was imperative. You got to collect all your Joes up so you don't leave nothing behind because you ain't coming back.
Hey, leave no man behind, bro.
Mm.
Diamond says I used a pillow as a mountain and caves. Caves were always real cool.
I guess yeah, that's on a rainy day. What would you do with your Joes on a rainy day, right? Go inside, blankets, forts, in the cabinets.
Oh no, bro. To me it was real world environment. I would go outside if it still rained, you know what I mean? If it snowed, it was just a new terrain, bro. I I
Yeah,
I didn't
we
give
didn't
fuck.
get snow though, and rain sometimes in the Keys. You can't really go outside when it's raining buckets.
It rains torrential downpours where you're at frequently.
Not up
Uh,
here so much, my house now, but man, lower Florida, yeah,
we would dig a trench in the dirt and run the hose
the
at the
hose,
edge to make Jajo River. What's
yeah.
up, Prophet? Mm,
Man, those some good times, man. And not a lot of the other toys made you do that as much. Like you're not gonna go out there and dig a hole with your transformer.
No, no. Who wants to get all the dirt grinded up in the mechanisms? I would put the hose in the box as DFS. Let's see, sandboxes were sketchy. Always a finger in cat shits. Oh man,
Ain't that the truth? Yeah,
that
man.
wasn't a
Because like,
sandbox, bro.
I mean, He-Man, you could go outside with. You could
I
play
never,
outdoors
I never
for
did.
sure.
Never took them. Always took GI
Really?
Joe outside. Never took the He-Man.
Damn. I guess it was just yeah. Because my turtles didn't go outside once I started getting those guys. We didn't
Yeah,
have a sewer, so to speak, to put them through.
right.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Surprised nobody said like anything to do with jets. It's all in the dirt. Seems to be the consensus.
Curtis says built bases out of dirt and sticks or whatever I could find. Flag was too big to keep inside. We hear that.
Yeah, I don't think Mom would have allowed it. I'm pretty sure that's why I didn't get a Terradrome at all either.
The only vehicle I had was a snowcat. The rest I made out of cardboard. Always being creative, aren't you, Mark?
So what we don't know is Mark Going Without has created this super mega beast cosplay creator that created a suit that looks verbatim like the classified Viper. So necessity bred invention, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, if it wasn't for my cousin, he gave me the one, but if he didn't let me borrow stuff, man, I never would have had any to play with. But
Yeah, losing the Joes. I mean, wasn't that one of our side chick topics?
no, that's when we talked up for another. I have a whole fucking story with that, with lost Joes, bro.
We want to round this out to 9? Because is
Let's
this
see
the
what
last
time.
question? Was that it?
I think we got one more, bro. We got one
Oh,
more.
I want to see it because that's a good point that Raw Talk brought up, losing tripwire. Save that for another time.
I puts the loach on the skin, or I would get the hose again. Exactly. If you're outside, bro. I go through this, make sure everybody got their. Yeah, but believe it or not, snow was my favorite to play with. And like I said, if it weren't for my cousin letting me borrow them, I go to school, he'd let me borrow them. I go home, I play with them for a couple weeks, and as long as I gave them back to him, he'd let me borrow some more.
Yeah, you got to be respectful with it. Like,
Now,
where's my bat? Oh. Yeah.
Transformers were for the room play for sure.
Yeah. Same with Mask, too, man. They were too small to go outside. I didn't want to lose nothing.
Mask was very close to GI Joes for me, very close because of the playability and the vehicles, and at least the figures had removable helmets. You know what I mean?
Read this comment, bro.
Hated losing Joes at the beach, and one time at the park, a squirrel ran off with my storm shadow. What? Fucking dude, fuck squirrels, bro. Squirrels always mean mugging. They're always fucking shit up, dude.
Well, they use the plastic and chew on it, man. All my daughter's toys outside in the yard got chew marks on them from the damn squirrels, man.
So are they nature's way of cleaning up our plastic trash environment?
Yeah, probably. They break it down even smaller because they chew it up, and I think they just chew it to sharpen their teeth. But that's probably what happened to Ralph's Storm Shadow.
Let's see. I cleared out an entire area in our basement and set up my bigger stuff like the general and the cardboard box bases. Dude, I'd love the cardboard box, like little playset or something, because there used to be a plethora of them, like in the '80s, man. I didn't trip on them. It was good enough for me, man.
Well, there's some old Western sets and stuff. You got some buildings that you could use.
Yeah,
Old Ewok play sets. I think I used an Ewok jungle play set for a little while.
I used to make a I used to try to
Endor
make
or whatever.
I used to dig a hole, right? And I would put sticks over it and leaves like it was a trap. And I would also set shit on fire too, bro.
Oh.
Oh,
I
fuck it.
think that's where most of my Joes ended up that I didn't get back. Because when I got like all the weapons and accessories, you remember who you got by when you look at, oh man, I must have had him. I got the launcher, I got all the guns, I got his helmet, but where's the body? I think the fire pit got a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. It was as many props as I could think of, as many. So I would have these leaves over here that were on fire, you know. So you're having a firefight, and one side was on one side of the fire, and the cobras were on the other side of the fire. As many things as I could think of, dude. I would hang them from fucking trees and shit, especially at the parachute.
Oh,
Fucking
dude, when we got, yeah, the parachutes and the zip lines with the rope and anything, just unbelievably cool. Because I know it's off topic, but Countdown came with a little zip line rope backpack, and I used to use him all the time because that was more my time. But I had Countdown doing missions like he's freaking Cliffhanger.
well, debating whether we need to do this last topic or not. What time is it? We've been an hour 19. Yeah, we can. I'm gonna get caught up on chat.
Oh,
That's gonna be
Chat's at
good. That'll be the good
64.
thing when we have a guest. Dude, because you get a lot of shit that I get busy with over here. So, and I hate dead air, but it's live. It happens. So fuck it. Yeah, we're gonna do the lost shows for another video. Diamonds for sure. If you have topics you're interested in, put it in the chat. Try to see it, or hit us up on IG. There's so many things that can be done. Dude, the mask orange truck was property of Cobra.
I think there was a parachute on every Joe at one point in my life.
All the squirrel comments get up on blast. That's why I just did all the squirrel comments. Bandicoots. Damn.
Yeah, I wish mask stuff was a little bit larger to scale with the Joes. They were so cool, man. If they planed mask into the same level as G.I. Joe, like if they did a 6-inch line now, which I don't think they would because the vehicles would be enormous, but if they maybe actually went 3 3/4 or 4-inch size, I think that's the thing to do. Mask was so cool.
Ralph says, anyone have a Steel Brigade figure of themselves or a mail away Super Trooper? No.
You're welcome, Mark, bro. That's the truth. Viper outfit, man, I swear to God, it looks probably the best I've ever seen. I've gone to Joe Fest and I didn't see nobody with an outfit that good.
Curse says, I once blew up G.I. Joes with firecrackers and never done that again. I didn't mess with the firecrackers, bro, but I definitely mess with the fire.
I've eaten a chipmunk or two. I'd eat a squirrel if it came down to it. Especially if it ate my storm shadow. Believe that. That'd be a succulent meal to enjoy. Mine.
Marco says, I used a black garbage bag and jumped off the roof thinking that it would slow me down. How'd that work out for you, bro?
Well, helmets were invented for a reason, right?
All right, we're gonna do one last topic, and then that's gonna be it for the show.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Short and sweet. Glad everybody chimed in. Some good stories, especially the squirrel stealing Storm Shadow. Fuck, man.
Need to go through some. There's hella highlights in there, but that's fucked up. Animal taking their shits, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had some good stories, man. Yes, revenge is definitely the best dish, and it's delicious.
Mark Cosplay says they did make a team that scales to Joe's. My brother had them. Raw Talk has them in his collection, I think.
Yeah, they're pre G.I. Joe. I think they're Mezco or Remco. Could be butchering the name.
Well, A Team, I think came out after G.I. Joe's in '82. I think A Team.
They might have been 82, 84, but yeah, they were kind of like the same body and vibes as the Dukes of Hazzard guys.
Yeah.
And then I think didn't Remco do like Army Men? They were kind of similar to Joe's, but the rivet was like in the front of the shoulder up here.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did. So
there was some cool. I think the difference is G.I. Joe took those same concepts and they perfected it, bro. Maybe not the 82, 83 run. That was kind of working the kinks out and everything was kind of stiff and straight in those years. But 84 and up, it was impressive, man.
So the last topic before we get out of here, and everybody's been fucking awesome tonight. Cobra Viper chat's been lit, bro. So hopefully at our next show we'll have a guest. And
bro, this is about everybody that watches and enjoys that, you know, enjoy and interact with it so you feel like you're part of the show too. It's not just two talking heads jibber jabbering.
Yeah, listen to this motherfucker. He can't shut up. That's me. That's why I have other people on so they can do the talking. I don't know what the fuck to say. They do have a Matt Tracker Joe figure when he joined the Joe team. The Rock,
they do.
The Rock pushed,
and that's why I'm thinking they could keep that ball rolling, but they gave him some weird backpack. It's like the Annihilator backpack that they just recycle for everybody.
And they just stopped it. So, you know. So last topic is, do you still have your childhood Joes? And if not, what separated you from them?
Why don't you go first on this? Or you don't want to?
Well, I was separated from my Joes because I had to move. So I had to move from where I lived up north to Oklahoma to go to an academy, and I
Mm.
wasn't allowed to take any of my shits with me. So that's what separated me from everything I had. Uh, um, I was, I was not collecting then because it was right before my 8th grade year. So I was into girls and shoes and sports, you know what I mean? It was a natural phase, right? But I still had
Right.
everything. And music, definitely music. So I went to collecting cassettes and shit like that. But I had all my shit, and so when I stopped playing with them, I put them all up on display in my room. And I left them there. I didn't disown them and shit. I just kind of left them there and didn't play with them and moved on to other stuff. But like I said, by the time I moved back, everything was gone. Nothing was left. But what about you?
Um, I left my stuff, had to move as well, thought I'd never see it again. Um, my dad was a little bit of a hoarder, but I also knew that I moved into his house, and when I moved out, I would assume he'd just reabsorb his part of the house that I took, right? And maybe throw my stuff out or whatever. And it wasn't until he passed away that I found out that my stuff was still sitting there, that he boxed it all up in this trunk and put it off in the corner. Well, apparently rats chew plastic too, right?
Okay.
So all the stuff that wasn't in the trunk was decimated from rats, just chewed on because the house was abandoned. Apparently, a hurricane came, house fell into dilapidation, needs to be condemned and torn down, and then the tree fell on it, right? So this house is fucked 3 ways from Sunday. But I got to go down there, I got to pry the door open, got to get in the front room and find the trunk. Now I had the Millennium Falcon, the X-Wing, and a bunch of stuff like that. The X-Wing was fine because it was up high enough. The Millennium Falcon had holes in it from them chewing on it. Slave One wasn't too bad, but I left it behind because it had some marks on it. It was kind of sticky, but it just didn't look like it was worth it. But a lot of the Star Wars figures were chewed on and weren't there. Like things were just missing. So they must have consumed them all the way because there was some stuff that was totally gone. But in the trunk was all the G.I. Joes and all the body parts and a bunch of Hot Wheels. And so I was able to take that stuff home, and probably 30% of my collection is my childhood. Now, what was left, what wasn't kit bashed, what wasn't mutilated, like I put figures together and I'd be missing everything but the inner thigh and the head. So it was like, I don't know what I was doing with these pieces or parts, but those parts never showed up. So I have a lot of pieces that will never go to nothing else. And so I just put them in bags and sold them off or whatever. But yeah, everything that I could build and complete and maybe kit bash something because I didn't have any other parts is all in here now. And it's been absorbed into the blob of my collection.
Well, Prophet says not a single one. It was a fire. Sorry about that, man. That's brutal.
Yeah, that's real bad. That's real bad.
Another fucking comment. Pussy and moving around. The death of collecting.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's right. I will put up pussy on my show. I don't fucking care.
The truth, right? Chasing tail.
Shout out to my mom. Marco says, shout out to my mom throughout my toys. I kept my transformers, but my Joes got tossed and I didn't seem to care. I got the 6th grade football and cheerleaders. And roundhead. I used to play with matches when I was outside. Joe's got cold and made them a fire. Then I almost burned my house down. I feel you with the infatuation with fire, man.
I'm a burn survivor. Oh yeah. Got skin grafts. I know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ralph says my OG Joes I have are Snake Eyes version 3. So that'd be the motherfucker with the molded knives on his chest.
Yep.
Yeah. And Televiper on card still. I sold the majority of my Joes for my first apartment and first car along with my Generation 1 Transformers.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to get ahead in the next level.
Hey, the toys kept to keep giving back to you, bro. They were there every time you needed them, man.
Yeah, that's another discussion. How much were they meant for you? How much did they mean to you? And
Oh my
when you
God.
needed them most, they had your back.
Here, I gotta write them down when they come too. Okay. How much?
Yeah, because I mean, those will be a bullet point in our next segment. Because
Toys.
honestly, man, there's so many stories of what happened, and
Dude,
man, I just can't. Just the fire alone for Profit Director is a nightmare in itself, man.
yeah.
Nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
That's
Anybody
one.
that's had fire and had to go through that and lose everything, not only, your home, but your favorite toys that really carried you through your life to a certain extent.
Wow. Diamond says, when I turned 18, I sold a lot of my toys, moved to California, kind of brought back a few things later. Now I have a few in parents' attic, but I'm not sure what's left.
I need to try to make that trip worth a shot.
I have a buddy, Tracy, who helps me get Hot Wheels, helps me get them so I can do shows. And he tells me like a month ago, he goes, you collect all kinds of toys. Do you collect G.I. Joes? I have some at my mom's house. I'm like, get them motherfuckers. Get them so we can go through them and fucking look at them shits, bro.
Yeah.
It's like they're all over, man. It's just they're hiding in creases of where parents stuff them away in attics and shit. Oh man, I brought back the memories I started by that was toys. Shout out to my. I'm sorry, I play with Jesus and finger blasted the honeys. Roundhead says, M3, I play with the G.I. Joes and finger blasted the honeys. He said, I got him. He said, I got him. I did both at once. I know what that one is, dude. I know that one. Is that small-headed Joe?
No, it's Destro.
Yeah, I know, but is that from the small-headed era? His head looks kind of
This
small.
is from 50th Figure Subscription Service. I think this is the convention money bag Destro. He's got the red camo print. Got the armor. A little fire for you guys.
Well, speaking of fire,
Roundhead, speaking of fire.
Roundhead, we know you're the fire starter, bro.
Got the shoulder gauntlet. Cool.
Big M says, I was lucky and my folks boxed all my figures up, but they buried in the attic under all my dad's junk still. Time to rifle through them shits.
Be burning the midnight oil in that attic.
Oh,
it's cold
man.
now. Now's the time to do it. You ain't gonna sweat to death up there. Especially, think about that high you're gonna feel when you start cracking into the box and you see little feet sticking out of it.
Oh my God. I can't forget about
you crack it open and you're like, yes. The greatest feeling ever. Because when I cracked that trunk open, I saw the carnage with all the toys that the rats had done. But when I opened the trunk and the rats hadn't gotten in the trunk,
fuck those rats and squirrels. Fuck them.
Yeah, for real, bro. Now that's why I laughed so hard at Ralph's story.
Roundhead says, I still have my childhood Joes. Bro, that's awesome.
Yeah, I sent him some parts to finish some of his Joes.
I'm not quite caught up with chat, but we're going to caught up with chat, and we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Make sure. So we both answered, started writing topics for other shows to go along with everything else.
So Mark was saying addicts destroy figures, and they do, because at the top of the trunk where the seam was, the heat still got into, and the figures were baked on the top. They look yellow, but they're not sunburned. They're heat burned. So they've been cooked to now they're brittle. Where all the stuff buried deep between the body parts and the Hot Wheels is like insulation, was almost like it never been touched. My Night Force repeater, my Night Force Shockwave look fantastic. Luckily, they were buried deep. So the
Well,
gung ho though that I had, a minty gung ho, absolutely. Half of them was like yellow green, and the other half was fresh and like brand new.
I think that GI Joes had some of the best plastic quality. GI Joes hold up a little bit better in heat circumstances than other toys such as Transformers. Grays, whites, blues, they're all fucking take a hit in the heat right away. Joe's can handle them a little bit better. In my experience, but uh
Yeah, because they definitely change color though. Because I got a Storm Shadow that's the nicotine stain, just like the one Hasbro gave us for classified.
damn it, Marcos, he left so he could leave before we left. He's like, fuck y'all, I'm gonna leave before you can turn it off. I know what you did, bro. Peace, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for
Later.
stopping.
We all gonna do it too. Everybody go home. We ain't gotta
Yeah.
go home, but you ain't gonna stay here.
Enter, give me a ring if y'all do an after party. Let's see. All right. Yeah, but that's gonna do it, man. So the first damn it, I forgot the okay. So for the first episode of the Serpent's Lair, dude, this was pretty fucking good. This is the part where we go through and we try to shout out everybody we can remember. Got Mark Cosplay, Curtis Schultz, Diamonds, DFS, Roundhead, Raw Talk
Animal Mother
Global,
Customs,
Profit
Deadman,
Director, Marcos,
DFS.
Deadman One, Big M. Let's see. I think I said Diamonds already. Fuck.
Skydro was in here.
Skydro
Delmas
Walker was
Dugan
on the
was in
rip.
here. Ralph Bernardsky was up in here. Profit Director Destro was up in here. I'm sure some other people were up in here non-commenting.
Big Stan. What's up, Big Stan?
Did it say how many were watching compared to what you had,
Curtis
like 21
Schultz.
watching?
Yeah, something like that.
That's good.
But I heard you say Animal Mother Customs, but I want to shout out to him too, man. I can't wait to have some discussions with him, man. Delmas Dugan. Warlord Cypher Goon was
Yes.
Raw Talk, right?
AKA Raw Talk.
Okay. And that's gonna do it for the shout outs, man. So dude, this was great. I enjoyed it.
Good show.
Chat kept me busy as a motherfucker, man. They were lit. All great things. Fast Eddie was also here too. But
Yeah, anyone we missed was not intentional.
Yes, sir. Everybody in the chat, everybody who does these shows with me, they make everything possible, man. I couldn't do any of this shit without anybody I do shows with.
Otherwise,
Man.
it'd just be me and you shooting the shit with nobody in here.
And we'd still shoot the shit because we like to run our giblets, bro. We like to run our mouth. So, with that being said, thanks for stopping. This was episode 1 of the Serpent's Lair. What was your G.I. Joe origin story? Everybody have a good night. Throw one back.
Thank you for sharing.
Do good things for other people, man. For sure. Sam Newsman, what's up? He comes in right at the end, bro. See him. He might have been here through the rip listening. So
he might have doing, puppet things.
Oh, Tiny Plastic Universe. Definitely
want to shout him out. Tiny was in here too, wasn't he, for a minute?
Yes. I think he's been here the whole time because he just shouted out too. But motto to live by. Just do good things for other people, man. Be cool.
The people that matter. That's the way I do it. For the people that matter, I do good things. You got to earn it from me, though.
Be cool is kind of like the golden rule. Kind of like the golden rule and follow street code. If it doesn't fucking match up with those two fucking things, don't be fucking doing it. But with that being said, I want to give a huge thanks for Cobra Viper. Most of all, this came from his mind. I'm just here laying it all out for you. So with that being said, man, we're gonna get out of here. Moto Frank don't want to forget Frank Sire, Moto Frank 21, bro. You've been here
Yeah.
all night too, man. Got his
Yeah, everybody, thank you.
Metallica and Motley Crue tapes he sent me on our last live
Nice.
stream, man. Yep. Got them things. Peace out, y'all. Don't go nowhere, Viper.
I won't, bro.